doing today?
Good.
Good. It's Friday, isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Well, we have a guest speaker today, and his name is Sam Reynolds, and Sam is a former Pueblo student, which makes it really cool. And he is also an author. So Sam is going to talk to you a little bit about how he gets his book ideas, how he struggles through if he's not quite sure what to write next, and just in general to let you know that you can pretty much do anything you want to. I mean, if you feel like you want to write a book, you don't have to wait until you get older. You could start it right now if you wanted to. And so we're going to let Sam talk, and he'll talk a little bit about himself and how he writes. So please give your attention to Sam Reynolds.
So what age group do I have here? What grade are you guys? Six? Sweet. I talked to the rest of your peers 2 weeks ago, so they already know who I am. So like Kathy said, I'm Sam Reynolds, and I'm here to talk to you guys about what I do. I am 17 right now, so you guys are 12.
12, 13, 11.
So about 11. I went to Pueblo during the 2010-2011 school year. I was on the original Spirit Dogs team. That team no longer exists, but as you can see by my really old and non-fitting shirt, I had Miss Siminek as my English teacher. She's amazing. I know she still goes here. Miss Pate was my science teacher. She retired after I left. Miss Lagerquist was my history teacher. I know she still goes here. And Miss Alver was my math teacher, and now she lives in Oregon. We'll have time for questions that day. I now go to a school called Heritage Academy in Mesa. It's a charter school. I've been going there since the 7th grade. They got really good teachers there, good environment, good curriculum. I'm a junior right now, and I will be graduating next year in 2017. So how my books began. It was the summer before my 6th grade year, and it's one of those days where you're with your best friend, you're at their house, you're in the pool, you're eating barbecue chips, and all of a sudden you think to yourself, I'm going to write a book. And that's basically how it happened. Ever since I was a little boy, growing up in like 2nd grade, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. Like, I could not get dinosaurs out of my brain. I loved all the Jurassic Park movies. I've watched them a million times. And I decided to use that idea of bringing dinosaurs back to life, but kind of in a different way, to kind of make my books what they are. My beginning writing process, how writing 2 books at the same time does not always work. It actually never works. I had first conceived 4 books for this series in total. And I wanted to work on the first one and the third one at the same time because I felt, if I work on 2 books at the same time, I get the series done twice as fast, right? Wrong. I worked on the third one a lot more than the first one, and when you have to balance, continuity and which character is going to be in this book but not this one because they're dead, or anything else like that, it's too hard. So I scrapped most of what I had written for that book, and it was really sad. However, Pueblo used to have a thing called Pueblo Publishing, or the writing club, where they would encourage students to do creative writing, write books, do art, whatever. And they give this to you in a little binder like this, and they printed out what you had written on like really soft paper. It feels really good. And what I had done in this book was not a lot, but it's a nice keepsake to have all these years. Let's see, what's next? Oh yes, my concept over actual writing philosophy. It's terrible philosophy, don't ever do it. Basically what that means is I focused a lot more on how the characters looked than how they would do stuff in the story. I would like draw characters 1,000 times. I have drawings of that you guys can see in a minute, of like different hairstyles, different weapons, different clothing. And when you spend more time on that and you don't have enough time to develop your story, that's all your story is going to be about, is how do I make this character look even cooler. So if I have a first pointer for you guys is to, you can have your characters and how they look in your head, but keep it in your head unless you're going to have a book with drawings, which I don't have books with drawings. And actually write the story, and all that other stuff can come later. So, how did I publish my books? You might know Lizzie Stewart or Eli Stewart. Eli still goes here. Lizzie went here the year after me. She goes to Corona now. She introduced me to this company called NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. Basically how it works is you have 30 days to write a book with at least 30,000 words. I know that sounds like a lot. It's 1,000 words a day. Basically, they have it every November, and if you set a word goal and you beat your word goal, then you win the contest. And you can go and publish your book with Amazon's company called CreateSpace. So I used the opportunity to get my books published because I'd worked on them for so long. And basically how you set up a book is you upload the Word document file or the PDF file, whatever you're typing on, and then you can create your cover with the cover software, which I decided to use. Once you submit it to CreateSpace to get approved, you get it back within 24 hours, and then in the next few days, it is on Amazon.com, which is really cool. So my completed projects, I'm going to share with you guys all what I have on the table here. So you may notice that there are 3 versions of the first one, but only 1 version of the second, and I will talk about why. This was the first version published on December 11th of 2014 of Dino Hunters Part 1. You see the title is a little bit different than the other ones. I'll explain why. It's like, well, it's like blocky and kind of ugly. I was so focused on getting the book done that I neglected to go back and say, oh, this thing took me a long time to write, so there's lots of errors in it. I didn't want this to be the only version of the book that was of mine because it made me look bad, so I had a second version where I changed the title, made it look nicer, and then I realized there's a lot more errors in this than I thought there was. So I took a black pen and just went through this bad boy like your teachers do through your English papers. And after about 9 days of grueling work of editing that and getting it put in the computer and getting it reapproved, I came to this final version, which is now available for purchase on Amazon. Didn't change the title at all. It has a lot less mistakes than it used to, and it's much better than the original book that I started with. Now, if you've been following the story so far, there's kind of a time gap. Thank you. There's a time gap between 2010 and 2014. That first book, Dino Hunters Part 1, took me 4 years to write. This book took me 4 months to write. So compared to 4 years and 4 months, I did it much faster. This book's about twice the size of that one. It's a lot darker and I think a much better book, in my opinion, than my first one. And I am really proud of both of them because they did what I wanted them to. And now I'm going to read you guys a summary of both books so you guys kind of have an idea of what they're about. And then after that, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a treat. Harrison Lumino was just an ordinary teenager living in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is the picture of the cover on this book. He and his 7 friends would soon experience the greatest tragedy of their time, because they would be the ones to save mankind from total annihilation. What seemed as a night at the prom turned into a gory disaster, and what seemed as normal was all thrown away. The city was destroyed and a man was claimed responsible. He did what no one thought was possible. He bred species that were lost to the ravages of time. He reanimated prehistoric dinosaurs for one purpose: to wreak havoc. Will Harrison and his friends be able to stop them in time? Will the villain be brought to justice or bring the planet down on its knees? Will the government try to sabotage the mission rather than aid our heroes? Will their group, known as the Hunters, complete the task ahead or come short and seal humankind's extinction? Discover in this thrilling novel full of intense action, romance, mysteries around every corner, and a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat, begging for more. The truth, the real story, is unveiled in the beginning of this deadly journey, Dino Hunters Part 1. And then I'm going to go on to Part 2. Don't you follow? Left in the ruins with the member dead and the ships obliterated, the Hunters' only objective left is to survive. The island of Torontico is a place of many secrets, and the group discovers these secrets as they try to uncover the mysteries of the island. Oliver Jensen still poses a grave threat to society and the world, greater than ever before. Will they be able to cage the dinosaur threat in time, or will they be forced to take extreme measures and change their objective entirely in order to save the world? Harrison and those who remain will be put to the ultimate test that will either unite them together or sever them permanently. They'll dive into the highly anticipated sequel to Dino Hunters Part 1 and follow the Hunters through the next phase of their perilous, life-threatening journey in Dino Hunters Part 2 Armageddon. And now I'm thirsty again. Thank you. Now, your special treat, which I talked about. Ta-da! Coming this spring will be my next novel called Deadlock. It's not going to be called Dino Hunters Part 3 for various reasons. If you read both books, you will know why. My original plan for Deadlock was to have it be done by last December to honor the 1-year anniversary of the first book being published, but sadly my life got in the way and that didn't happen. So what I'm trying to do is get this done in the next few months, hopefully by around spring break, and if I get this published and stuff, I will probably come back here and talk about it. This is going to be the cover that I've chosen for the book. It's got 5 birds on the broken fence, and they're symbolic. It's going to be a lot of death. So I'm going to read you guys now the summary, or the final summary of what I have of this book. Although the hunters managed to escape the clutches of Oliver Jensen on Toronto, he still remains a great threat. Thought to be dead, there was nothing left to stop him from unleashing the final phase of his ultimate plan, making humanity pay the price. Finding themselves on the run, will the team be able to end Jensen's plans before they come to fruition? Or, when faced with a bounty on their heads, will Harrison's actions risk the future of humanity? Just over a year after the first in the series was released, the next chapter of the long-lost secret series has arrived. Join Harrison and his team as they once again have to fight their way to survive through this epic yet grim journey. Prepare, as all hope seems lost and all hell breaks loose in deadlock. So my plans for the future as an author. As I said in the beginning, there's 4 books in the series that I'm planning to make. 2 of them are done, so I have 2 of them left. Deadlock will be sometime this spring, hopefully by around spring break-ish, maybe a little bit later. And Annihilation, which will be the 4th book, will be coming later in 2016, whether that be August or December, whichever one happens to work. I have plans to visit more schools. I have visited a lot of groups today already. They've been really enthusiastic and enjoying this. I visited the other 6th and 7th graders 2 weeks ago, and they really enjoyed it. I went to, was anybody in Miss McNeely's class last year? So you guys remember me coming, don't you? So I visited Miss McNeely's class last year to the 5th graders, talked to them about it, and some of the other 6th graders from 2 weeks ago said that they remembered me. So all of you guys like, hey, I remember you. You've seen my face. And one of the things I hope to do is to use my talents as a creative writer and as an author to show the world that I'm capable of doing so many great things, and that I can make those great things as perfect as they can be. And I do that through my storytelling, my dialogue, and my characters. So now we have some time for a Q&A, so I'll ask your guys questions, I will answer them, and then we have a few more things to do after that. So ask away.
Anybody have any questions?
Has anyone here ever thought about writing a book or a short book, some kind of story?
Tell me your name.
Cody.
Cody.
It's just I've done a page. There was a couple stories.
Nice.
This from a long time ago.
I would say keep going on that. Tell me your name.
Nisa, and how did you get this idea of writing a book?
Well, you know, like 6 years ago, Harry Potter was the big thing, right? Like they had the movies all finishing up and stuff like that. And I didn't read all the books. I know, shame on me. I looked at J.K. Rowling and I'm like, wow, she's created this incredible world full of incredible characters and magic and all that fun stuff. Why can't I do the same thing? And I wanted to make my books something different that no one had ever seen before, and make my own world in a way that would interest people like she has. Tell me your
Have
name.
you ever been out of state?
Out of state?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Hawaii.
Oh.
It's a long plane ride. Tell me your name.
Zachary.
Zach?
Actually, Miss Neck after she still changes that.
She came 2 weeks ago. I gave her 2 hugs when she came twice. It was quite fun.
So you're basically making books for your entertainment?
Yeah, and to kind of entertain the world, it's like say, here, this was my conceptions about high school. Like in the beginning, I talk about high school. I didn't know what high school was, or like what it was about. So kind of some of the things in there are kind of ridiculous. You kind of have to look past that when you read it. But then here, dinosaurs, fun stuff, death. Just like look at all this. Like I want to, like this entertains me because I get to read it. I'm like, ooh, I was really that good. And then I'm like, people they say this is really good, and it makes me feel very proud of what I do. Tell me your name.
Austin.
Austin.
Did you used to write any Jurassic Park books?
My original idea was to actually have Dino Hunters be a continuation, of Jurassic Park, but then I'm like, wait, copyright, that's bad. So then like, Jurassic World came out and that was amazing. So like, yes, I say like don't copy other people's ideas because that's wrong and that's stealing, but try to make something as original as you can. But you can borrow ideas, but don't just be like write word for word. You can't just like write word for word the Harry Potter series and just change the names around because that'll get you in trouble.
Is this the only class or only school you do, or do you go to other schools?
Right now, this has been the only school along with Paloma. I haven't reached out to any of those schools yet. Maybe Kathy can help me with that. Like with reaching out to other librarians, maybe having me come. Well, we haven't talked about it quite yet, but that's probably what we will do.
Do you have any books that's like in libraries?
Actually, good segue, my young one. These copies right here, Kathy took the liberty of buying them, and now they're going to be in this library. And on Tuesday, you will be able to check out these books for your own pleasure. And right now, I've been signing copies each hour, so I signed 2 of the first and 1 of the second. So you guys want me to sign the second one?
Yeah.
I need your input here, guys. I need your help. What would you like me to sign?
What do you mean?
Like what do you want me to write?
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. Hello from the other side. Hello from the other side, my friends. Heart, not Adele.
There's a shoe over there.
Then sign. Hello from the other side, my friends. Heart, not Adele, signed by me. So, any other questions?
So how many years did you do to write all 4 of those?
It was 4 for this, or 4.5 for this one, and 4 months for that one. So almost 5 years in total. This summer it'll be coming up, I think, on 6. Yeah, it's been that long. It's been too long.
Did your friends help you?
They did actually. My best friend helped me co-create the series. I actually gave editing duties to him for part 2 because I didn't want to go through the whole terrible thing in part 1 again. The characters in this book are actually based off of people that I knew at Pueblo during my 6th grade year. So when they found out that this was a thing, they freaked out because they were so happy. And now characters that I've made, I try to just base them off of people. So I'm like, this is actually real. This is actually cool.
So did you pretty much start composing or writing something in 6th grade year?
Yes. When I started writing my 3rd book at the same time, I'm like, oh, this is so cool, because I didn't have much of part 1 done yet because I was focusing too much on drawing the characters. And then, how many pages in here? 9 pages? Yeah, 9 pages of that. So I didn't go very far with that one before I decided to scrap it. Tell me your name?
Is that book right there supposed to be in the woods?
The second one is going to be in an jungle / on an island. Uncle. That's a good word.
Another question. After you wrote the first book, the first draft, how come you didn't use an editor?
Why did I not use an editor? I thought because I'm all mighty and powerful that I don't need an editor, and that's a syndrome that I think all of us kind of have, is that our work is perfect and we don't need anybody else to look at it. But in fact, you do. And I learned the hard way that going through and looking back at all the mistakes that I had made, that I really needed an editor. I've kind of broken off having my friend do editing duties for this book because he's really busy and I'm really busy, and I actually have the manuscript and he doesn't. So I'm like, you can, because he's trying to work on his own series at the same time, and his problem is that he has too many ideas in his head, and he writes them all down, but then he has more and more and more ideas. So his problem is he has too many ideas and can't really focus on one main one. And my problem is that I don't edit my stuff like I should. So I'm a lot more careful than I used to be with editing my own work and having people else edit it. Any other questions for me? Well, I don't know how long you guys have in here till.
11:40.
Well, we can go sit down and pick the tables too long.
Say, well, before you guys go, I already signed the books, so you guys are good on that. If you guys want to come up and look at the books, I have concept art here on the table. These little slips of paper, your teacher has them. It basically shows where to get the books on Amazon. It shows like what the names are, like how to get them. Those will be in the library next week. So for all of you guys to check out and start reading.
Maybe in your new book you can put this picture. Hey, buddy.
Wow, it's pretty
Or maybe you only
And you know what's
Probably
cool?
that.
Sam did the covers also.
I remember seeing that cover.
That's it.
Is this
No.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, oh wait.
I saw that Jurassic Park picture. I remember seeing that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
What?
We went to high five. He writes this one.
Oh, I see what that is.
See you later. Sam.
It says Adele.
Like,
I'll write whatever the other classes want me to write. On those ones over there have already been signed.
you have good handwriting.
I don't really.
No, you do.
Yep, all those drawings are mine from. I was born in 1998.
What did you have to do to like make this bulge?
Change the font, center it, bold it.
Ooh, Spinosaurus.
What?
Elijah, say cheese.
I guess he typed it.
You guess I can change it?
Sabrina, you're in the camera. Sabrina, say cheese. Sabrina, say cheese.
It's a good thing you spelled Spinosaurus.
You're still in it. You're still in it. Whose shoe is right there?
It's a continuation of the basement. This is
gonna be me when I get out of
school. What you doing with that can?
Oh, it actually shows.
He's trying to take a
I don't know. These two right here are my most recent.
I'm gonna take a picture of people.
I
see you.
Try to guess the real name.
Dude, it's...
What's up, Lisa?
Dude, you're in it. It says 2252.
This time is up.
What's up? Okay, make sure.
Are these like the characters?
I know what. It's so cool. Guys, stop playing with the camera.
I'm trying.
No, that's just why I decided to get title. That's going to be like another book.
Is it a video? Yeah, it's recording.
Hey, dude, go back there. Dude.
That's Spinosaurus.
That's a Spinosaurus.
I love you.
Natalie, say cheese.
Hey, Drew, what are you doing?
After you're done looking at the books, we're going to walk over to the cafeteria. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who wants to take a selfie with me real quick?
No, me.
I'm better. I got the...
I'm better.
Jonathan, you're short. Pick you up.
Yeah.
I'm not in it.
I'm not in it. I'm not in it. Selfie. Jonathan, I'm coming. Let me take a selfie. Let me take a selfie. Okay, bye-bye.
Darkness, my old friend. Thank you. I think we ran out of papers. Kathy, we ran out of papers. See ya. Little bundles of joy.